Tuesday evening, everybody. Welcome into the OHIO podcast. We are so glad you decided to join us. I am Buckeye Boggs, aka the Podfather, and you are you. And we are thankful that you decided to join us this evening. Don't forget to smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hey, man, share the show with your friends, your family. We all have Buckeye community friends that we love and talk sports with, and whether it be on Facebook or wherever, share the show with those people. Let's continue to build our community one great Buckeye fan at a time. If you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, thank you so much for doing so, whether it be on iHeart Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, whatever cast you listen to. Make sure you give us a 5-star review. That'll help us grow our great community as well. And if you need to get a hold of the show for whatever reason, for any reason at all, you can do so by emailing the show at theohiopodcast@gmail.com. Go ahead and check out the website, theohiopodcast.com. Read great articles, find links. You know it. It's over there. We've got it for you on the website at theohiopodcast.com. Joining me this evening here, that's TG to my left. TG, tell everybody who you are, where they can follow you.
Hey everybody, I am TG. You can follow me on Facebook as Tierra GI Sports or on Facebook as TG. Not Facebook, X as TG. You can also follow me on the Spectrum podcast. I know I haven't done a show in 2 weeks. I like to let my shows go out over 2 weeks, so this way I give you guys a chance to watch. And I will be putting out another show with James. I would say next week Sunday, for us to do a pretty much based on the coaching rankings, of course, to give our opinions on it, our full-on opinions for the fun of it. And we'll also be talking about some NBA news that came up and other news in college football, such as the SEC might be bending down to the Big Ten regarding the 2014 playoffs, actually, surprisingly. So, yeah, that'll be some of the news we talk about, and that should go be pretty fun. So, you guys be best to go over to the Spectrum podcast, like, share, subscribe to all the videos, and turn on those notifications so you never miss another episode. And like I said, subscribe and share with friends across, because you guys are not going to want to miss it, especially if you want to hear James. Like I said, you guys are going to love him. He is the male version of me, much calmer, but he's basically like me. So you guys better enjoy it. What up, Shockstar?
Alex, tell everybody who you are, where they can follow you at, man.
I am Alex, aka Keen Buckeye. You can find me on Facebook, Alex Bryan. Good luck finding me. Everybody's name is Alex Bryan, it seems. But I'm everywhere else. I use my Xbox gamer tag, FlyDog92. You can find me there.
All right, let's get into it tonight, guys. You know who I am. I'm filling in for Chris tonight. Chris has got he's got the flu, aka he's running for Alex, as you guys are saying in the chat. That's not it at all. It's not it at all.
Y'all full of it if y'all think
he's sick tonight.
He didn't want to smoke 2 Tuesdays or 2 weeks in a row. I don't blame him.
Oh, come on now. You're going to make him mad. He's going to show up on Patreon ready to rock and roll. I have an audio clip to run for you guys. Just right from the jump tonight. I got an audio clip for you. This is T-Bone and Tyvis Powell, former Buckeye Tyvis Powell. Shout out Tyvis Powell. They are talking about the Combine. And by now you've all heard the news. There is a report that Caleb Downs has a serious injury and is falling on draft boards. We're going to get to that. But first, I want you all to hear the foolishness that is being reported about the slow 40 time of the best receiver in this NFL draft. And listen to Tyvis Powell and what Tyvis Powell says about this. It's very interesting. We're going to dive into it. We're going to dissect it. It's about a 2-minute long audio clip. We're going to play it first, then we're going to talk about it. Here we go.
But this is the part of the Combine that got really stupid over the weekend. Adam Schefter tweeted out the following. He said, Ohio State wide receiver Carnell Tate, a potential top 10 pick, was timed by several NFL executives and GMs on Saturday with a 40 time in the range of 4.45 to 4.47. Although the Combine registers official times teams always conduct their own timing.
That's a fact.
Those measurements with some teams were lower than his clocked 4.52.
That's a fact. That's why every time you run a 40, you will have 32 different times.
Okay. But how are they all measured is my question.
Don't nobody look at the NFL Network, so I'm going to tell you that now.
What are they looking at?
The watch that they got in their hand.
Right. So, but when we're talking hundredths of a second, if a guy doesn't hit the watch quick enough,
if you got that job, you hitting it quick enough.
But if everybody's 32 different times,
you gotta look right there at that last step. As soon as that step hit that, boom, you gotta click it.
You know what this sounded like to me? Cope. This sounded like Adam Schefter got a message from Carnell Tate's agent, whoever that is. I don't know who he hired, but that sounds like saying, hey, actually, it's not as bad as you think. It's dumb that we're even having this argument.
It is.
That a 4.53 is slow and a 4.48 is blazing fast.
It's not.
It's an idiotic discussion.
It's really not that. It's really about technique. 40 is really, you got to have good technique to run a good time. That's that. Here, and I will tell you that it is factual that there are 32 different times. How do I know that? Because when I went through Seattle, when we would look at certain teams, they would give you the 40 time. Like, this is the 40 time we clocked you at. Like, that's what they told me. Now, I would say 4.46, but they might have me at 4.44. Like that, I'm like, oh, I didn't run that. They'd be like, yes, you did. We was there clocking it. So, they use their own time.
That's
Didn't
fine.
the Seahawks release you twice?
Will you stop with that? He is hilarious.
I'm just saying, this whole argument
Thank you for your daily reminder.
if someone would take Carnell Tate top 5 or top 10, and then they saw him run a 4.53 or a 4.52 or 4.54, whatever they had, and they suddenly go, never mind, don't draft him, then you're an idiot. Like, that's an idiotic discussion to be having.
What's funny is that people hear 4 or 5 and think that is slow.
That's not slow.
They think that is slow.
There you have it. Interesting conversation. Now, my answer would be, if I'm Caleb Downs' agent, I am not putting out there in the ether that there are different scouts recording different times. All I've got to do is go to Twitter and say, go watch my film. That's it. That's all I got to say. In fact, I'm shocked he even ran. I'm shocked. The other 2 wide receivers who are expected to be first-round draft pick, did they run? No, they didn't run. They didn't even run. I'm shocked he even ran. So I'm a little bit surprised they even gave him that advice to run, which tells me he thought he was going to do it better than what he did. So anyways, all I would have to say is go watch my film. Go watch my film. And here's the other thing I would say about this. And we used to say this, and no one says this anymore, right? There's track fast, and then there's football fast. What do I mean by that? You put pads on and run, and you're still fast with pads on, that's a different kind of fast than being track fast, right? So let me give you an example. Did any of us say throughout any point in the past season that Lorenzo Styles Jr., man, he looked fast out there? I never said that.
One time.
You said that one time.
That kickoff return.
Yeah, the kickoff return.
But I didn't say, man, he... Okay, good, touche. But I didn't say, oh, man, he was fast. But
and now that I know that he runs like a 4.2, I'm like, why wasn't he doing that all year?
Yeah, right? Okay, but you see what I'm saying is there's a difference between getting pads on and being fast and, running in your underwear on a 40-yard dash, okay? So if I'm Caleb Downs, all I have to say, go watch my film, TG.
Here's what I will say with Lorenzo. Let him return kickoffs, and that's when you'll probably see him at his fastest. I'll say that right now. But, and punts as well. But with Caleb Downs, it's the same. Like, dude, just go watch my film. It's the same with Carnell Tate. It's like, go watch my film. Just go watch it. That's all you got to do. Go watch my film. You know what I put on the field. Now, I can understand that some are a little skeptical about film because of a certain team up north where we had the cheating scandal and people drafted them based on what they saw in their film, drafted them on their everything else. And then when they went to the NFL, they absolutely sucked. I can understand that people started, not looking at film the same way again after that. But understand, not everybody does a cheating scandal. I'll tell you that now. But if I were them, I'd say, go watch my film and go look at the program I came from. Unlike the program in which a lot of y'all draft from, we actually come from a program that puts talent in the NFL, that actually does what they're supposed to, and we don't take no shortcuts. We put in the hard work, and if you guys also listen to the Buckeye players themselves, they even told you about the coaching and everything. So it's like if I am those Buckeye players, I'm saying go watch my film, and that I ain't them players from up north. Sorry. Like, film don't lie. As Sean said it, the tape don't lie when it comes to Ohio State. It don't lie.
Guys, I got 2 questions for you. Is Jackson Smith-Njigba one of the best wide receivers in the NFL?
Yes.
Yes.
Is Puka Nacua one of the best wide receivers in the NFL?
Who?
Yeah.
Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua.
The Rams. The Rams.
Sorry, guys. I don't know the NFL that
Okay.
well.
Okay, that's fine. He is. The answer is yes.
He is.
Oh, did he play for Ohio State? No? Okay, I don't know who he is.
Yeah. He plays for the Rams.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Although Jackson Smith-Njigba fell to 20th, which he shouldn't have because the Green Bay Packers should have taken him, but that's my own gripe.
I think one of the things was injury is what kind of hurt him on that one.
Probably. And just the Packers' own stupidity,
Yeah.
I'll call that out all day. And then, of course, like Puka Nacua went 5th round, but both of them are 2 of the best wide receivers in the league. Puka Nacua ran a 4.57. Jackson Smith-Njigba got clocked anywhere from 4.48 to 4.52. Guess who else just ran a 4.52? Carnell Tate.
Mm-hmm.
What does a little bit slower 40 time matter if you can go out there and make the plays? I've seen a lot of fast guys go to the NFL who amount to nothing. Literal nothing. Yeah. I mean, there's guys that you can name. And I have a feeling that at Ohio State's Pro Day, which if you watched the show a week or so ago where we did a thumbs up or thumbs down on who should do stuff at the combine, I said Carnell Tate shouldn't do a thing at the combine. He should wait until Pro Day, because if you're a wide receiver and you're doing those drills, you're going to not look great by default, basically, because you're going to have guys you're not used to thrown to you. You should go and let Julian Sand throw you some passes at Ohio State's Pro Day, and that'll be able to showcase him a year early for people potentially. And it gets to showcase you with a quarterback you're comfortable with and are in sync with, so you can look your best. And that goes with 40 time and all that other stuff too. Wait until Pro Day if you're a wide receiver. You should have did exactly what every other wide receiver did and not did those drills, period. And he did. And now he's getting drugged through the coals for it. And of course, this time, NFL draft silly season, everybody's going to start saying, oh, well, this guy's going to fall down the boards now, and they're going to negatively impact some of these guys and negative impact their wallets, of course. And if 2 of the best wide receivers are running as fast or a little slower, you should look at that, and you should do exactly what Eric just said. Turn on the tape, because we know what Carnell Tate's capable of. I mean, gosh, there was a lot of games where, because Jeremiah Smith was getting double teamed, Carnell Tate was the one balling out. He put up good numbers in a lot of those games. And obviously he had to share the field with guys like Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka, who, had he not gotten hurt, he would have been offensive rookie of the year, Emeka Egbuka. So, it sucks that you have to be a guy that has to share a field with some of those great guys, but he still made a name for himself at the end of the day when he got an opportunity. So I think anybody with a half of a brain cell that functions would be smart to draft this kid. He's got great work ethic, and it's only gotten better since his mom passed away. Like, he has extra motivation because of that even. So I think he's a great kid with a great heart. He's got insane work ethic, and a slightly slower 40 time than you'd like isn't going to change the fact that he's going to go out there and be the next great Ohio State wide receiver in the NFL. He's going to do fantastic. I just hope he doesn't get picked by the Browns, because then they will waste him.
Oh, they most likely will. But here's the thing too. Like, while for some might say, like, it sucks to kind of be in a room kind of full of those guys, like, you have to sit behind them. For guys like Carnell and them, they always said it was so great being behind like Marvin and Emeka, and be even sharing the field with Jeremiah Smith, because they got to learn, because he got to learn a lot of things too. Because that's actually even the best part. Is like, look, you sit, you wait your turn, you learn behind the guys who came before you, and then you go off and you do your thing. Once you have that opportunity, don't waste it. And he didn't, and that's where you got to give Carnell that. And like I said, for people, again, the tape at Ohio State don't lie. Like when we say the tape don't lie, again, just say the tape at Ohio State don't lie. Because again, people may have different, again, like I said before, because of a certain people up north, they might start looking at tapes a little differently just because of how bad some of them suck. Like we've seen it. Like I said, you only got 2 good Wolverine players out of all them who have good tape and have actually worked out. Mason Graham and Adrian Hutchinson. That's it. So they might be a little frenzy on that.
Sanistrill has been good in Washington. That Mike Sanistrill or whatever.
Yeah,
his name is.
in the system that he's been in, you got to give him credit that he has actually done good. I got to give him credit for that one. But like we're talking about like elite to a point where it's like these guys are going to make an instant impact the minute they hit the field, and more in a positive way than the negative way. Because for all the Michigan players, they have all sucked in the NFL except for those 2. And then and like you said, the safety from Michigan who's playing for the Commanders, he's actually done pretty good for himself as well. I'm not gonna go out of my way to say, hey, he's gonna be real good, because they did go get Marshawn Lattimore to be a starter over him for a reason. So it's like, but it's like, nah, outside of them 2, that's why, again, scouts are gonna be really hesitant to say, okay, we say tape don't lie. Tape lie for them dudes. It is.
It's just very funny every year that this continues to happen to certain players, and you just wonder how some of these scouts have a job. Like what credentials did they show you to give you enough faith in them to go send them to Indianapolis and scout some of these players for you? I mean, we've seen guys have injuries coming into this thing before that end up being great NFL players. And like that's what I hate with the whole Caleb Downs thing right now. It's like, why are we putting a minute injury that will literally probably have 0 effect on how he's going to change the face of your defense? And like Carnell Tate, we're holding a slightly slower. If he had ran a 4.48, you probably wouldn't be saying it as much. You know what I mean? Nobody ever looked at Carnell Tate and said, "Oh, that's a sub 4.4 guy right there." We all kind of knew where he was at, and maybe he ran a little slower that day. If he goes to pro day and runs a 4.48 there you go. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, we got to stop harping on these. If he had ran a 4.7 something, then I'd be like, okay, well, little bizarre there, but people just got to use their minds, common sense.
Now, one of the things that was in that clip I want to address real fast, and Sean said it earlier. He goes, he called T-Bone a name. T-Bone is quickly getting a reputation here in Columbus, Ohio. I know you guys don't live here. It's the local sports radio station, ESPN affiliate. They have local hosts on all day long. They do the ESPN stuff at night when no one's listening, But anyways, he's quickly getting a reputation, despite the fact he says he's an Ohio State fan, of being kind of an Ohio State hater here lately. And he had I don't know if you guys caught it. He said something really stupid. He basically just blamed Carnell Tate's agent for kind of making this up. And if you guys heard, Tyvis was like, dude, what do you know? When I ran the 40, I had 32 different 40 times because that's what they do. Like he kind of pushed back on them. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think where did all of this, hey, he actually ran faster than what the clock says? Is this a real thing, or did you think the agent made it up like T-Bone's suggesting?
No, I think what he said, what Tyvis said about all the teams having different times is a real thing. I think that, everybody's got human error, even the people who run the clock at the draft. There's human error there. So, if you could just even take the 32 teams that timed them plus the NFL Combine's time and you average it all out, I think that would be a way better thing to put out there than just put what the NFL draft puts on the TV for you at the time. You know what I mean? And when it comes to T-Bone, you know what went wrong with him? He lost the guy that kept him in place, Common Man. That's what he lost. So T-Bone's been on a little bit of a landslide since Common Man left him. So it is what it is. But I don't. Why would Carnell Tate's agent want to lie about any of this. Like this is one of his guys that's going to make him a lot of money, hopefully. So why would you?
Well, I think what he's saying is that what T-Bone was trying to say was that the agent actually was kind of putting it out there in the ether that he actually was faster. They had faster times on the on hand clocks, but you know, well, and that's what Tyvus was saying. It was like, yeah, he probably did, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like whatever, man. There's a question in the chat I wanted to get to real fast. Because I just looked it up. Don says, "Hey, what's Jeremiah Smith's 40 time?" I just looked it up. 4.32 is Jeremiah Smith's 40, according to.
I find that hard to believe.
Do you?
Yeah, because but I guess in a way, Jeremiah Smith when he runs reminds me a lot of Terrell Pryor, and the fact that Pryor never looked like he ran. Yeah, he would glide. He didn't look fast, but. He would cover a lot of field very quickly, and you were just like, there's guys that when they run and are actually fast, they look like they're putting in that effort. And then there's guys like Terrell Pryor where they're just that fast, and it was like, oh, he doesn't look like he's going that hard. So
right.
That's what
I ran angry and I ran slow.
Yeah.
My coach said, "Boggs, you got the fastest feet that go nowhere, dude." My senior year, TG, it got so bad because I tore my quad, and it's one of those injuries that just takes time to heal. There's nothing you can do about it, and it's my senior year, so I played through it. Every time I would get a hit, I got bench run for.
Let me tell you something.
I'm slow.
Like quad injuries suck, but
it hurts so bad.
Let me tell you something. Try having the side of your foot shatter with 3 different broken bones in your foot.
Oh, that happened to you?
Yes.
Nice.
I was playing basketball and I landed.
I thought you were saying you were kicking somebody.
No, you wish. But
that's for the after show.
Yeah, but
the real story.
Yeah, no. Let me tell you something. You and Tommy kicking somebody, I could tell you the story over there about me beating someone's behind back in 5th grade.
All right, you hold it for the after show.
I can tell you all the story about that, but no. This is me playing basketball, and as I'm going up for a layup, I get fouled, but I land on my foot wrong. I land on the side of my foot, and I felt something hurt like crazy. And I still get up to make the free throw, but then I head back to the basket. I'm like, "Coach, I'm hurt. Take me out right now."
Oh, she Kobe Bryant'd it.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was not going to be able to finish that because my foot was hurting way too much at that point.
Point guard? Point guard? Were you a point guard?
No, I wasn't a point guard. I was actually more of a shooting guard at the time.
Shooting guard? You played 2?
Yeah.
All right.
More of a shooting guard, kind of small forward, because I also was playing pretty,
How tall are you?
How tall are you? Well, actually, I'm like 5'4", but like the way I play like as if I'm bigger than that. That's how
you talk like you're bigger than that.
Yeah, that was just how I was. So it's like, yeah, no, that's how it was. And then when I went to the doctor, because the swelling on my foot looked like a baseball, like it was big. So I had to go ice it, rub alcohol on it. I went to the hospital and they said, "Your foot's broken." I was like, "Oh, I thought you were joking at first," because the way they said it made it sound like a joke. It was like, "Nope, I'm serious. Your foot broken. Like the side of your foot shattered, but also so is your ankle. So is your the foot that connects your bone foot to your ankle, like that bone's broken. Same with your leg." I was like, "Oh, well, now it makes sense as to why my leg and my foot bend opposite angles." It was so weird. Trust me, my mom would tell you the way it looked was so wrong. It was like, yeah, you gotta go to the hospital. That was so
Mika
weird.
Rolling in here at 4'11". All right, I got another audio clip I'm gonna preload for you guys, but while we're doing that, I want to share this bit of news for y'all. Now, you've alluded to it a couple times, Alex. I'm going to go ahead and read this for everybody. This is a tweet that made its rounds that broke out late yesterday, and of course today everybody was talking about it when it comes to the NFL draft. Ending on a bummer here, I was told by an NFC scout that Ohio State all-class safety Caleb Downs had a couple of issues flagged during his medical check. Nobody expected him to test this week anyway, so it flew a bit under the radar. However, I was told that Downs was flagged with a partially torn meniscus this week. That is not a serious concern, but also being flagged with a potentially degenerative ACL. Now, that's degenerative ACL. That sounds like short career, injury prone, not going to reach your potential type of talk. Now, right away, there were reports coming out that refuted this, including on the Pat McAfee show today, where Pat McAfee literally himself called multiple NFL teams that he knows and says, hey, is this true? And their reply back to him was there was nothing shown in his medical that would cause us not to draft him if he were available to us. So take it for what it is. I think Alex was hitting on it early, so I'm going to let you jump in on it. We have entered officially what we call in the NFL draft as silly season.
But they did with a bunch of our other players that they've done before as well.
I've seen some Bengals fans say, "Gosh, you know what? These are true. No team 1 through 9 should pick him."
Yeah, Bengal fans, y'all are the dumbest set of people in the world.
No, we're playing the game.
Eric.
It's all about the game and how you play it.
Not you, Eric. Not you, Eric. I ain't talking about you. But Bengals fans like you who are actually smart, yeah, like y'all know better. But the ones who otherwise you think who are every bit as dumb as the fans up north, please get help, dude. Now, here's the funny thing about silly season. This could be rumors spread by an NFL team to try to get him to come down to their team because this has been done before. And Mika, I'm not talking about you either. I know you're a Bengals fan. I ain't talking about you. You know for a fact I'm not talking about you or Eric. You know. But this is what's gonna happen in NFL silly season, and I think it's gonna happen. And you know what? This is what happens with our players more than anybody. Because let's be real, who don't want Buckeye players? Other than maybe the Bengals, because for some reason they still struggle to do that.
Green Bay doesn't seem to ever want him either. We passed on JSN. He was right in our laps.
Yeah, it's like, I don't understand some of these NFL teams. It's like, dude, if Ohio State player lands on your freaking, lands right there for you, get him. Get him. It's not the hardest thing in the world to do. It's not. Get them if they're available. Like, for God's sakes, the Browns finally started to figure it out. We're getting DeJuan Jones, Mike Hall, Ronnie Hickman. They have Tanner McAllister at one point, along with, they have, who else they got? Denzel Ward. And a couple other and right now they got Quinshawn. So, like, you don't think that, like, I know you're saying, Alex, that you don't want the Browns to get him, but the Browns are smart enough to know, like, they need some help at receiver. So they gonna, if Carnell falls to them, they're gonna take him. Because, and am I saying I'm happy with that? No, because otherwise this would feel to me like another Justin Fields kind of situation. But at least with the Browns, you have the common sense to draft the pipeline that's been in your backyard for how many years?
Let him take that tackle or whatever from Utah. Spare Carnell Tate. Let him go to somebody with a pulse, please. Oh, God. Please. I want Denzel Ward to get shipped out of there. I need him to go to an actual contender. Like, God bless Joe Thomas, but he wasted an entire career playing for loser teams in Cleveland. Like, they just never take it seriously enough.
Yeah, look, at least, like I said, at least I'm gonna give the Browns that credit. Like, at least you're trying to get talent out of your own backyard. Some that Browns fans have been begging you to do for the longest. Stop drafting the scum players. And I mean, yeah, you hit one with Mason Graham this time, but please for now. But please draft players out of the Buckeye State. Like, and trust me, multiple NFL teams who were drafting Ohio State players were looking at the Browns and the Bengals like, I got a whole NFL pipeline in y'all backyard. How y'all not using that?
Hey, Myles Garrett. If you ever want to come to Green Bay, we'll give Rashawn Gary over to Cleveland.
That would be great.
Maybe give you a third-round pick with him.
Dude, I beg for a lot of the Ohio State players to go find themselves a good place. Like, I'd be begging for that for Fields. I've been begging for that for DeJuan. I've been begging for
Garrett Wilson. God save Garrett Wilson, please. Get them off the jet.
I'd be begging for them to go to a contender. I'm like, let them go to a good team. Let them go to a team that actually knows what they're doing. But I understand why bad teams want them too, though, because it's like you're thinking these guys could probably help change your franchise. Hey, they can if you actually get the right people in there, because it ain't just players; it's coaches too. You ninnies.
our stupidity in Green Bay was Seattle's gift. Like, I'm like, the second he went to Seattle, I'm like, well, JSN, he's gonna pop off. Here we go.
Yeah.
Shocker.
A lot of people thought because of his first year in Seattle, they weren't gonna go great. And I was like, you guys are aware that the Seattle Seahawks offensive line was so trash that they had to
misused them.
Him.
They didn't use
them.
No,
they did misuse. No, I'm not gonna lie and defend and say like as if they didn't try to use him properly. But at the same time, I can defend the fact that you have such a terrible offensive line that cannot allow your quarterback to stand in the pocket without having pressure in his face instantaneously. So you got to scheme around that entire awful offensive line. Once they fixed their offensive line and they figured it out how to use JSN, then you see their team take off after all that. Because it's like, again, what would we say in football? The trenches matter. And if your trenches are awful, I don't care what receivers you got. I don't care what talent you have.
It's funny you bring that up because news is dropping potentially that the Vikings are looking to ship JJ McCarthy out somewhere. And it's funny how Wolverine fans were very quick to be like, oh, you guys use offensive line being bad in Houston as an excuse for why CJ Stroud is struggling. And now all of a sudden it's, well, the Minnesota's offensive line isn't that great. So, if they fix that, JJ would be really great. He'd be
Time out. CJ Stroud struggling? He was the rookie of the year, and he's gone to the playoffs. How many years?
Consecutive times. Three consecutive times.
His stats have kind of done that. He's struggled a lot the last couple of years.
They traded away all his offensive weapons.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing. Is like you traded offensive weapons and the offensive line sucks. So like, what you doing?
They've gotten worse at the offensive. He has struggled, but there's a reason for it. But we know what CJ looks like when the offensive line is at least decent and he has some weapons. He's offensive rookie of the year level good. But JJ, they have this false notion that JJ is some amazing quarterback because they've never seen good quarterback play at the team up north. Not even Tom Brady was good when he was there. And they're used to just mid quarterbacks thinking they're the Messiah. And they have false advertisement in their head about what good quarterback play is. JJ McCarthy might not even make it in the Canadian Football League. He's that bad. So.
Nah, like let me, dude, like, of course, like, it's not surprising because like Michigan quarterbacks are never really good.
They're not.
Michigan, I like. Let's be realistic. I saw a whole thing regarding quarterback U, and someone gave Michigan that for like the last 25 years. I'm like, name one quarterback that they've developed in the past. Like, and don't tell me no Tom Brady, because here's the reality: Tom Brady sucked at Michigan, and literally Tom Brady told you if it wasn't for Bill Belichick, he ain't Tom Brady today. So like. Yeah. Please do not try to mistake in what Bill Belichick did for Michigan. Heck to the no.
You know what's funny? I'm a Buckeye and a Packers fan. The Bears and the Wolverines are virtually the same thing. They've had historically bad quarterback play. I don't think either team has had a quarterback throw for over 4,000 yards in a season ever. They both, sometimes the Bears wear the winged helmet just like they do, and their fan base is the most delusional fan base in their respective sports. They think that they're just, I mean, granted, the Bears had a good year this year, one good year, whatever. But yeah. They think that historically they're just the best franchise or program to ever exist. And it's like, look at your history. You're not that great. Everything good
you can't even develop quarterbacks because, like, let me interject. How did you not?
Hold on. One more thing. Everything good, everything successful that's happened in the Bears' history and the Wolverines' history happened in the Mesozoic era before any of our grandfathers were ever conceived or thought of.
Let me interject one quarterback that I think they did develop. And he didn't have a tremendously great NFL career, but he had a long NFL career. Chad Henne.
Yeah, it's the one quarterback you can say that had a decent career as a quarterback. And look, he's got 2 Super Bowls as the backup to Patrick Mahomes. And I mean, when Patrick Mahomes got hurt, he stepped in and did his job. I will give him that. But let's not pretend as if they've been developing quarterbacks at all. Like, they shouldn't even be in that conversation. Like, why are they even in the last 25 years? Because you're giving them Tom Brady? Why?
They didn't even care about Tom Brady until he won a Super Bowl. They were booing him off the field when he was there.
Exactly. It's like, bro, you guys didn't care. You only care about him now because he's regarded as the greatest quarterback of all time, which rightfully so, because this man got 7 Super Bowls.
He's not.
Seven Super Bowls, and he's won a lot. But at the same time, I will go out and call people out who were calling Tom Brady a system quarterback. And now that this man's gone on to win a lot, y'all have gone out of your way to now call him the greatest. Like, bro, don't switch up now. Don't switch up now. Don't act like as if you all thought he was this from the beginning. Like, no, none of y'all ever thought this about him. You're just saying it now because of what he's accomplished in his career. I could go on the record and say this. I do believe Tom Brady is one of the best. I do, just based off what I've seen of him, how he's played on the field, regardless if he's a system quarterback or not. What you do on the field, if you get the job done, how he's gotten the job done. And he's even come up in big moments. I can give him that credit, even though I hate him as a Wolverine. Him being a Wolverine is why I just dislike him a lot. But I can give the man his credit for performing on the football field when it mattered the most. But at the end of the day, I am never giving them a credit for developing any quarterback, because even look at Bryce Underwood now. We talked about it. Go look at J.J. McCarthy. Before the freaking cheating scandal, this dude sucked. And when the cheating scandal got exposed and he couldn't cheat anymore, you saw how badly he sucked after the fact. So what made y'all think that this man was ever going to be a good NFL quarterback? You could tell. And then you look at Bryce Underwood right now. What?
He's going to win the Heisman this year. He's got a quarterback coach now.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I can make the argument that Todd Beckman actually was more successful in college than Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You can't make that.
At least on par. At least on par.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and at the end of the day, it's just ridiculous though, because it's like I will never get over that. I kept looking at that like, why they're in the quarterback conversation, the quarterback you? Why?
Troy, I feel sorry for you, by the way. You have taste in one good team at least.
So what do you guys think?
You know he's joking.
Jay Cutler, good. Oh God.
You know he's joking. He don't mean it. Troy, I know
what do you guys think? Do you think Caleb Downs does have an injury of some kind? Yes or no?
Probably. I'm sure Carnell Tate does too. Carnell Tate was out for a couple games this year. I'm sure he's got. Yeah, all these players do. They got something that's bugging them on that day, whether it's severe or not. Like we saw Billy Price come into the combine and then he tore his pec or whatever while he was there. Yeah. He still went first round. Now, granted, he didn't make anything of his career, but like you can roll.
He had a long career. Got to give him that though.
You can roll the dice on a player like Caleb Downs because if it pans out, it's going to be really, really good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe this is the Bengals putting this out there in the ether because if you guys remember, he was penciled in by a lot of the mock draft experts to go number 10, and then all of a sudden you started seeing him going up the draft board. And I think the Bengals are like, no, we want this guy. So let's just throw this out there and see if we can't get some.
So crappy. It's so shady.
But at least, but it does tell you how far teams are willing to go to get some of the best players, though. Because again, this ain't new. We've seen this with countless players, and we said it happens with our Buckeye players all the time because every team seems to want them. It seems like
you knew he was coming into this draft anyway. You either should have sucked more and lost more to get a higher draft spot, or you should be ready to pony up and trade up for him. You don't have to potentially ruin the guy's career just so he falls to you. That sucks.
I agree. I agree, but that's the game.
It's
all about the game and how you play it. That was for you, RDCB. I've got another audio clip for you guys here in our second segment. Now, this is from JD Pickle. I am not a big JD Pickle fan. He works for On3. However, he lays out a massive bomb of truth in this audio clip that we need to highlight and talk about, because what JD Pickle's saying here, if Ohio State is not doubling down and using this properly in their marketing, in their recruiting, then we've got major issues over at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, and he's 100% right. Check this out.
So here's the number one thing if I'm Ryan Day. I'm pitching to a kid to get him to commit to Ohio State. NIL, got to be a factor. That's obvious. It's Ohio State, the brand power, obviously a factor. NFL track record, obviously a factor. My number one pitch, though, is that our strength coach, Mickey Marotti, is going to turn you into a freaking bionicle, dude. Like Sonny Styles may have had the best combine of all time, and yes, he is gifted in every single sense of the word. Like, God just gave Sonny Styles some things physically that he doesn't give to any other human being. All right, the measurables are obvious. I mean, 6'4", 6'5", 244. Like, that's ridiculous in itself. Saw this dude when he was an underclassman playing safety at Ohio State, down on the field pregame. I'm like, this dude's carved out of marble, all right? That's one part of this. But look at just he might have had the best combine of all time. Look at these measurables. 4.46. Shout out UC Report here for the stats, what he was doing in high school. It's what he did at the combine. To drop 0.2 on your 40 after gaining 34 pounds, I don't think we understand how ridiculous that is. I'm sure a lot of that's combine prep. I think just as much of that, if not more of that, is your head strength coach at Ohio State. We talk about the vertical going up like darn near a foot, dude. At that size, do we understand how ridiculous that is? And I know the comments can be full of, well, dude's just gifted. You can't give it all to the strength coach. I hear where you're coming from. But you spend every waking moment as a collegiate athlete with your strength conditioning program. If it wasn't good, you're not doing stuff like this. And it wasn't just him, like Arvell Reese, ridiculous day. Sonny Styles' brother, who converted from receiver to DB coming to Ohio State. First of all, he's at the combine. That should tell you something about the way Ohio State's developing. Second of all, he ran sub 4.3. This is not coincidental. All these freak shows are coming out of Columbus. They're doing something right in the Woody Hayes. So yes, there's a lot of physical gifts these guys have. I'm not trying to water that down. But if I'm Ryan Day, I'm saying, hey, if you come here, we are going to develop you. Look at what we just did to the combine and blew that thing up like it was Gotham City in Burbank. Just ridiculous stuff. Mickey Marotti deserves all the juice in the world for what they just did to the combine. Again, shout out UC Report for this graphic here. Buckeyes, man, something else.
Okay, now I have a real living example of what he's talking about in my own house. My stepson, Xander, who's a freshman, finished his freshman year of high school at 5'11", 165 pounds. And the coaching staff looked at him and said, you need to put on 30 pounds of muscle if you're going to play varsity next year. That's insane. 30 pounds of muscle. Dude weighs 185 right now. And here's the thing. This is what they told him. You can't get slower. It has to be good weight. So what did they do? Saturday morning, he gets his butt up at 6 o'clock and he's been working out with a speed trainer in order to not only increase his muscle in the weight room, but to increase the flexibility that he has in order to run quicker with that increase of weight that he's putting on his frame. Now that's at a high school level. Okay, that is now. Yeah. I hats off to Delaware Hayes High School. For a high school, they are doing some really cool stuff over there with sports science, and it's awesome to watch. Xander has an app where they are tracking everything that goes into his mouth. He has to weigh like every other day, weigh in, and then you can watch as he begins to lift more weight and he gets stronger. You can see his maxes are increasing as his weight increases. It's amazing how this stuff didn't exist when I was in high school, okay? Yeah. You just threw weights around. But needless to say, if they're doing that at Delaware, imagine what they're doing at Ohio State. And what J.D. Pickles said here, which I think is hitting the nail on the head. Here in a few weeks, when is the draft? April something, right?
Yeah.
The night of the draft, that Thursday night, we're gonna be on Patreon watching the NFL draft together. And more than likely, you're going to see at least 3, if not 4 Ohio State Buckeyes get drafted in the first 10 or so picks. Maybe as many as 7, 4 in the first 7. If that is not plastered by Ohio State's media team everywhere in recruiting, everywhere. Yeah, developed here. Yeah, that's great. How about 4 in the first 7, 4 in the first 10? You have got to cash in what is about to happen, and every recruit that you talk to, it's got to be, hey, did you watch the NFL draft? Of course you did. You wanted that to happen to you? Come here. We develop you. TG.
You know for a fact they're gonna do that because
They better.
I know for a fact they will because Ohio State always brags about their first round picks. They always brag about their draft picks. They always do. To these recruits, they tell them, "Hey, you want to be just like these guys? You want to go in the first round? Like for the receivers, you already know they telling them you want to be like Marvin, you want to be like Emeka, you want to be like a JSN, or if you're a quarterback, you want to be like Justin Fields." Do you want to be like Dwayne Haskins? You want to be like CJ Stroud? For Julian saying, I think that guy might end up being a first round pick next year. You want to be like him? I think he could be. I'm not saying he will, Alex. I think he could be, and there is a chance he could. Ohio State's gonna be using that all the time. So if they have four in the top 10, like drafted in the top 10, you know for a fact they're gonna be using that because it's like it's not just because that's gonna be a plaster to their develop here. And if you want to be a top tier guy in the NFL, if you want to go in if you want to be in the top 10 picks, you better do that. You better come here. Look at what we just did with these players. Look at it. Look at the draft. Look at what we just did. And you also know they're going to be bragging about, and you know they're going to bring this up. If we reach 100 first round picks, you know they're going to brag about that too.
They better.
You know for a fact they will.
Now, TG, that I'll tell you, some of the online stuff we've seen from Ohio State, especially when it comes to marketing our players in season for awards, has been sucky.
And who's been who's the SI director at that point, huh?
Well,
we just hired a new guy.
I know he retired, but still, it's not all on the SI. There has to be a group focus.
Social media team.
Yes, thank you. Yes. A social media team that's like, all right, prep, get ready. Like there needs to be a focus on this because this is a magical opportunity for Ohio State and Ryan Day to capitalize on what I don't know I've ever seen anything quite like maybe Alabama one time. Maybe.
We came close to it in 2016. We had 3 first rounders in the top 10, 5 overall in the first round.
Same in 2022, actually. We had 3 in the top 10. We had CJ, we had Paris, and there was another Buckeye who got drafted. I can't remember.
It was Jackson Smith and Jig, but he fell to 20 though. We only had 2 that year in the top 10.
Oh,
yeah. So 2016 was the year we came the closest to potentially what could happen this draft the last time. So pretty close. Do I trust Ohio State to market this as well as they should? No, because like you said, Eric, a lot of the times we've seen it and it's sucky. Now they've gotten better in the last couple of years at their marketing of things, but there was a lull there between like the end of the Urban era and the start of the Day era where it was just like, this is it. This is the best.
I will say that's why people don't want to believe it, but that's why I'm like, hopefully with this new SI director and also this new way that they're trying to go, that they're going to start focusing on the social media team from here on out. Like, please. That was one of my biggest things. I'm like, I know for a fact the school has a social media team. I know for a fact that, like, and not only that, but the reason I also bring up the SI director is because of that very reason. Like, you're supposed to be in charge of the social media team. And you yourself are supposed to be out here promoting the players, promoting everything Ohio State does as the SI director. You look at the previous guy, he wasn't doing none of that. Go check his page. Literally, go check his social media page. That man did not promote one thing of Ohio State. Not one. Even on his own page. And that's what you're supposed to do as the SI director. What are you doing?
It's like my boy DG said to the new the new SID. He said, as long as you know how to use Twitter, that's +1 points for you. Yeah.
Well, to defend Jerry, he was old school, guys, and he also looked at the entire athletic department in all sports equally. Hopefully the next one understands it's not like that.
Football has to be here. Jerry was like, do these others. No, football's here. You worry about everything else later. That's always if you're like working on something basketball wise and something football comes up, you push basketball to the side. Football. It's always football.
Is that the one thing you love about is the one thing you do love about this new? Because look, I want to root, and I'm not gonna lie, Ohio State basketball has. actually has a chance to get into the playoffs. They have to go 1-1 against Penn State or Indiana.
Just to lose first round, I just couldn't care less. I couldn't care less.
No, I mean, I think it's kind of good, though, for once. You're actually on the cut now. For once, you've always been on the cusp of the playoffs. If you manage to get in, hey, it's a win for you.
Yay.
Now build off that, and that should be good.
Another year of a missed Sweet 16. Cool. Woo.
What about the fact that Pickle says that the Body by Mickey program is elite? What do you think about that, Alex?
Listen, I'm hot and cold when it comes to Mick Marotti.
Oh, do tell.
I think he does a great job. Don't get me wrong. And there's like before and after pictures galore that you could show to show what he does, right? But I think in recent years, there's been a need for some adapting, some advancing. Like there was a while there, I felt that we were pretty behind in the sports science section compared to some other places. And rightfully so. But the hiring back of Schlegel will get that done. So I think you look at guys like Sonny Styles now, and he was a freak when he came here, right? They chiseled him out a lot more. He's even more of a freak now. Jeremiah Smith, same thing. Mick Marotti does a great job, but having a guy like Schlegs in there to help advance this thing further into the future, past where other programs are doing it, like I believe Schlegs will, that's going to make Mick Marotti look even better, because there was a lot of time where we needed to adapt to certain things that other programs were doing. We needed to get better at the sports science side of things. It seemed like there were guys like not as strong as they should have been. We're still dealing with some of that on the offensive line. A lot of that can get worked out, right? But you should never have to look at Ohio State football and watch them get manhandled by anybody. At worst, you should see them battling against a team at their level, and they're pushing each other around. You should never see our players get pushed around. And that's where I was having a problem with Mick Marotti a lot of these recent years. But I think Schlegs being there will fix that part up of it a lot, because Schlegs will not allow these guys to get pushed around by anybody. So Mick Marotti's great. I think he's pretty old school, and I think all the stuff that he does worked a lot better 10 or so years ago. But he's still got some value, obviously. And I think having Schlegs there will elevate that more.
TG?
Oh, absolutely. Now, I'm going to say this. Mick Marotti has had the best strength and conditioning program in all of college football. There's no if or ands. It has been elite. However, you can say that we have kind of slid back a little bit because we haven't adapted as well as we could have. Now, I have seen in the Woody Hayes from some little videos they post up there, and some insiders have said like they are starting to get to using the sports science more and a lot better than they were before. But I will say that Anthony Schlegel coming back will absolutely advance this entire thing to another level. And I do think Mick Marotti will need that help for sure. But I don't think it changes the fact that he has been the greatest strength and conditioning coach. But I do believe that, again, Anthony Schlegel, it will help these Buckeyes advance their strength to another level. And yeah, our guys shouldn't be getting pushed around. Now, the good thing is they haven't gotten pushed around all the time, but there are times they got pushed around and it's like, dude, that got to get fixed. That do.
Let me say this about a Coach Mick. He was cutting edge all the way back when he was with Urban at Florida. And he got that reputation of being the best strength and conditioning coach in all of college football. And he's carried that title for many, many years. And maybe JD Pickle just didn't know that. Maybe he's just catching on to it. I don't know.
He's clueless in a lot of things. Guy's a loser.
But for those, Doug, Anthony Schlegel will have them gas station ready. That's one of the best quotes.
Yeah.
It's one of the best
gas
quotes.
Station ready. That's funny.
Anyways, Coach Mick is entering the final years of his career. And I think he needs to get some credit here for what is being accomplished in getting these kids to this elite level. Now, JD Pickle is correct when he says a lot of these kids have just God-given ability and talent. Sorry, I'm never going to be as fast as Lorenzo Styles Jr. No matter how hard I try, I'm never going to reach that kind of speed. He's got more God-given ability than I do to run fast. But he laid that out for you. He said, in 4 years, look at the numbers that Sonny Styles was at when he came in and where he ended up at. And I know one person here in the chat said, yeah, but Eric, don't WBuck21, don't these guys get trainers after the season's over and work on nothing but the skill set for the NFL Combine? Yes, they do. But that's literally just the icing on the cake. The cake happens the 3 or 4 years of development inside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, inside the weight room. And Mickey, Coach Mick and the team, they deserve some of the credit for that. Hands down. Absolutely. Sure. But I will also say this. They can lead a horse to water. They can't make a horse drink. Sonny Styles was an Iron Buckeye, meaning he never missed a workout. He was always there. He was also the Block O recipient this year, meaning they looked at everything he did in the classroom, on the field, in the weight room, and he earned that right to play and wear that jersey when he played. So the fact that he highlighted Sonny Styles, I think it's twofold. You got to have the strength and conditioning program, but you also have the athlete who's willing to invest in said program, or it's not gonna amount to a hill beans. So I think it goes both directions. Last thoughts for tonight before we head on over to Patreon. As promised, TG is going to give her story about beating someone's butt when she was in 5th grade over on Patreon. I'm sure that's going to be a lot of fun. Last thoughts. We'll start with you first, TG.
All I'm going to say is I can't wait. Honestly, I actually did end up finding something you guys might find funny. Is that about it's actually kind of funny about Ohio State, because are you like this year when we actually, matter of fact, let me save that for later because that is actually kind of funny. But all I will say is that when it comes to the show, Ohio State, I hope that the SI director is actually good. Please do your job, man. Please, can you be better than the previous dude? Please be better. Please be better at promoting.
Yeah, because Jeremiah Smith would probably have 2 Biletnikoff awards if our SID was a little bit better, but yeah. It's a miracle Caleb Downs got the Thorpe. It's a miracle he got the Thorpe.
It's a miracle that man got the Thorpe.
Because we marketed him nada, basically.
Not once, which was terrible. So and it was a miracle he even finished top 10 in the Heisman. So like, please be better than this. Please be better than the previous guy, please. Yeah.
I hope all these Buckeyes go to good places. And I forget who tweeted this, but I saw it about Sonny Styles. They said, Sonny Styles is an excellent name for a Hall of Famer.
Nice.
Could be.
Yeah. Lorenzo isn't, is he? No, he's not.
No, I don't think he is.
He might be in Ohio State's Hall of Fame.
He should be. He had a great pro career. He could be one of those like ones down the line that get put in, but there's a good amount of Buckeyes that are in the league right now that could be shoe-in Hall of Famers, and that will just further attest to the work being done in the program right now that hopefully will just continue for the rest of my life to be done, because I couldn't stand us having a down period at all like some of these other schools. I would lose my absolute mind. So
yeah, absolutely.
I don't think Lorenzo Styles is good. He is a Super Bowl champion. He was not an All-American. I did not know that. 2-time first team All Big Ten, but he was not an All-American. Lorenzo Styles Sr.
He was really good though. He was really good.
This doofus.
Sonny Styles. Heck of a name for. I hope Lorenzo Styles Jr. gets somewhere good too. I honestly think that a team would be smart to convert Lorenzo back to wide receiver and try to use him as like a slot, because obviously when he transferred here, it wasn't happening for him at wide receiver. It just wasn't. Like, good luck,
not
dude.
In that room.
So they had to move him. But I think if a team good enough can revert him back to wide receiver and use him right, he could be a weapon for somebody.
Hey man, like I said the other night, Ted Ginn Jr. basically made a 13, 14, 15-year career, however long it was, returning kicks, punts, and being a number
Devin
2,
Hester.
number 3 receiver. Yeah, that's right. Devin Hester is another good one. All right, guys.
Y'all should listen. Have y'all seen what Wake Up Barstool, mainly Dave Portnoy, this idiot has said?
No, I don't even.
I literally just came across it, and I'm like, I literally have just seen something. I'm like, why did this pop up on my phone when I'm not there? But this is goofy.
Well, we're going to head on over to Patreon, everybody. Make sure you go over there with us. TG is going to lay out the story of the year, possibly, about her fight in 5th grade. I'm really looking forward to that story. It might be an interesting time over at Patreon, everybody. So hang out with us over on Patreon. The link is down in the description below, along with TG's YouTube channel, The Spectrum Podcast. That link is also in the description for this video down below. So make sure you head on over there and subscribe to her channel as well. We'll see you all over on Patreon. Have a good night, everybody. OH.
I hope.
All right. That's a wrap.